You were not born to bow to excuses. You were not placed in this world to shrink when things get hard or to hide behind the veil of reasons that sound noble but lead nowhere. Excuses are poison. They're the soft voice that whispers, tomorrow. They are the comfortable chains you wear with pride, parading around mediocrity like it's a badge of honor. But deep inside, you know the truth. Every excuse you entertain is a step backward from the man you could be. Every justification you offer is a shovel burying your potential 1 inch deeper into the ground. You say you're tired. So what? Fatigue is not an excuse, it's a condition, it passes. Hunger, pain, distraction, none of them are permanent. But the regret you'll face from giving in to them, that will tattoo itself onto your soul. Excuses are the lullabies of the weak. They're sung by cowards who want to stay comfortable while pretending they're victims of circumstance. You're not a victim. You're not a slave to time, money, age, or conditions. You're a force waiting to be unleashed. But so long as you coddle your excuses, you will never taste the fire of your own power. There is a war being waged between who you are and who you could become. Every excuse you make is ammunition fired against yourself. Excuses are intelligent. They speak with logic. They present themselves as fair. I didn't sleep enough. I have too much on my plate. People don't support me. I'm not built like them. But the world doesn't bow to logic, it kneels to results. Excuses might win arguments, but they lose battles. The world does not pay for effort. It does not reward intentions. It respects execution, sacrifice, and raw, brutal discipline. You are not owed success because you tried. You are rewarded only if you endure when it would have been easier to quit. You want freedom, then silence the part of your mind that tells you to slow down. Silence the weakness that says it's okay to delay, that it's okay to be soft today because you were strong yesterday. One moment of weakness can shatter a year of effort. One moment of excuse can undo everything you've bled for. It doesn't take a catastrophe to derail a destiny. Just a single excuse repeated often enough until it becomes your identity. You want to change your life? Start by removing the vocabulary of limitation. There is no I can't. There is only I won't. Be honest. When you say you can't, what you're really saying is that you're unwilling to pay the price. But the world doesn't care if you're willing. It only respects what you produce. Stop expecting people to understand why you're falling short. They don't care, and they shouldn't. Your excuses are only impressive to people who have already quit on themselves. They'll nod in agreement while you spiral deeper into comfort, but the rare few, the warriors, the disciplined, they'll see right through your excuses, they'll see fear, they'll see softness, and they'll move past you while you're still explaining why you stayed behind. Look around. The winners didn't get there because life made it easier for them. They got there because they silenced the noise, they locked out doubt, they suffocated distraction, and they took no excuses from themselves or anyone else. If it mattered to them, they bled for it. If it was worth building, they built it on broken bones and long nights, not perfect conditions. How many times have you told yourself, next time I'll do better? How many moments have slipped through your hands because you let comfort seduce you? And now look where you are. The gap between your dreams and your reality is filled with every excuse you've ever made. No one is coming to close that distance for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boss, not the government, and certainly not your excuses. Excuses love delay. They feed on your indecision. They grow stronger every time you hesitate. When you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you give birth to doubt. When you say, I'm not ready, you build a throne for fear to sit on. And before you know it, years have passed and you're still stuck at the same starting line, dressed in rationalizations while time laughs at you. You say you're waiting for motivation. Let me tell you something. Motivation is the most overrated drug there is. You'll wait for it and it may never come, but discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't need a reason. It just shows up. It gets the job done. And if you want to win in this life, you better become a man of discipline, not desire. You better become the kind of man who acts in spite of excuses, not because of them. Think of every man who ever changed the world. You think they had it easy. You think they weren't scared. You think they didn't have moments where excuses could have stopped them cold. But they kept moving, not because they were special, but because they refused to be ordinary. They understood one thing: progress begins the moment excuses end. You say your past is holding you back, then cut it off. It's a chain you're choosing to wear. You say your environment is toxic, then burn it down and build a new one. You say you're too late, too old, too inexperienced, then prove the world wrong. History remembers the men who silenced the voice of limitation and roared back louder than life itself. This isn't about ego, it's about ownership. Own every part of your life. Own the failures. Own the laziness. Own the fact that you could have been further along, but you gave in to weakness. And then use that ownership as fuel. Nothing changes until you admit that you are the problem. But that's the best part, because if you're the problem, then you're also the solution. There is no power in blame. There is no growth in denial. The man who always has an excuse ready is the man who never becomes anything. Stop negotiating with your limits. Stop debating your potential with your fears. Silence the council of doubts that meets inside your mind every morning, telling you why it's okay to stay small. Rip out their voices by replacing them with action. Action is louder than every excuse combined. When you move, excuses die. When you act, hesitation vanishes. When you step forward in defiance of your weakness, you become something different, something dangerous to your old self. That's what this world needs: men who are dangerous to excuses, men who are lethal to weakness, men who do not beg for change but embody it. This is not a speech for comfort. Seekers, this is not encouragement. This is war, and in war, there are no excuses. There is only victory or surrender, and if you keep feeding your excuses, you've already surrendered. But if there's still a fire inside you, if there's still a piece of you that remembers who you were meant to be, then silence the noise. Kill the lies, crush the comfort, and rise, because this life will not wait for you. Your dreams will not come and knock politely. Your legacy will not build itself. You will have to drag it out of the dirt with blood on your hands and fire in your lungs. But it will be worth it, because when the battle is over and you're standing there, scarred, tired, but unbroken, you'll know one thing for sure: you didn't let excuses steal your life. You fought back. You showed up. You silenced them all.